Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the third and final part of my Update 13 review slash Let's Play in Warframe. And today we are going to be tackling Hydroid. We're going to be talking about his abilities and his stats and just, how much fun he is to play, as well as how to get him. And we're also going to be talking about the new Attica crossbow and the new Nami Skyla cutlass and dagger. But first, Hydroid, or Davy Jones as I like to call him. He's a lot of fun to play. He is obtained through the new Vehek missions. Once you have obtained enough transmitters from the Ceres shipyard missions, you can build a key and go to Earth and fight Vehek, and he'll drop one of the pieces, just like a normal boss. And if you're lucky, you only have to, fight him 3 or 4 or 5 times to get a key. I unfortunately had to fight him 13 times to get the pieces, unfortunately. Thankfully, my friend also had a couple of keys, too, so it could have been a lot worse. We could have been farming for much longer, but luckily, I had a friend who we were running keys together, so that was cool. But once you have the pieces, he builds like a normal Warframe. He does use the new Argon crystals, which are the new building material that was introduced in Update 13, and I think they're pretty cool. They actually expire over time, which is a new one that we haven't seen before. And if you have 10 every 24 hours, you have 10 after 24 hours, you'll have 5 after 24 hours, you'll have 2 after 24 hours, you'll have 1. And I think that's a really interesting concept. It makes you have to farm on the fly for stuff, and I think that's kind of cool. But let's get right down to the nitty-gritty on his abilities. His first ability, his 1, is called Tempest Barrage. Basically, it's, wherever your reticle is, you call forth a bunch of cannonballs slash water jets slash whatever you want to call them. Basically, it's an AoE damage at wherever you're pointing, and it's right here. It just basically blasts an area with cannonballs, and it's very cost efficient. I think it's a lot of fun to use. I don't have specific damage numbers or duration numbers or range numbers, pretty much because Hydroid is still so new that no one's really been able to get specific numbers yet, and I can't really judge very well myself. But that's his second ability right there, which is Tidal Surge. He basically becomes a wave of water and surges forward. It is more or less Excalibur's Slash Dash, but as a wave, and it's alright. It's a little bit too costly. It's a little bit more costly than Slash Dash, but it still gets the job done. But what you're seeing right there is Tentacle Swarm, which is his ultimate, and that's a lot of fun. I like Tentacle Swarm. It's just a huge AoE stun, massive damage, and it's an appropriate ultimate, and it's just a lot of fun to use. And I love being able to say I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going all the time when I'm playing. My friends want to punch me in the face whenever I play Hydroid, because I just say that non-stop, but it's just too much fun. And now you may have noticed, well, Ben, why did you skip over his third ability? I did that, folks, because his third ability is a joke. It's called Undertow, and you basically just become this giant puddle on the ground, and you suck in any enemies that happen to walk into you, and do damage to them constantly for the duration of the puddle. And it's stupid. I get it's very, it's very Warframe-ish. I understand why it's there, I just think it's a stupid ability. And I don't like it very much. And if you kill anything, well, if the enemy's in the puddle and you kill the enemy and it drops loot, it will absorb the loot and you won't get it. It's pretty terrible. Like, on a game like this where you're farming constantly, you can never lose loot. Like, what happens if an Orokin cell or a Neurod or something important happens to drop off the guy in the puddle, you know? This is actually a funny glitch right here. Zanuka is coming for us. Zanuka is the Corpus random event that just happens occasionally if you're marked for it. Basically, Zanuka spawns right on top of me, I turn invisible, and then Zanuka becomes immortal. You can see me just, you might be able to see me. You can see my blades just slashing them, and I actually get up to a combo of over 300. You can see right here, 3 times what I'm normally doing damage-wise, but we just still can't kill him. It's pretty funny. And I'm still invisible too. And as far as Hydroid, as far as stats goes, he is an average amount of health and an average amount of shields, and a little bit of buffer when it comes to armor. I would say he's fairly comparable to Oberon in health and armor and shields, I would say. So he's going to be a little bit of a brawler. He's going to be a little bit tougher than, say, Nova or Banshee, which is nice. Hydroid's a lot of fun as a final verdict. He's a lot of fun, even with, his 3 being kind of lackluster, his Tempest Barrage, and his Tidal Surge and his Tentacle Swarm are all 3 fun abilities to use. He's just a real versatile frame. He's got lots of, defensive skills and offensive skills, and, I think he's going to be a frame to come back to even after he's fully leveled up. And I think that'll be good. You always want replayability with your frames. But A+ on Hydroid or Davy Jones, he's a lot of fun. Now we're going to very quickly get into the Attica crossbow. Basically, the SparkNotes version of my review for the Attica is that it's not that good. It only does 100 damage per shot at base level with no mods. It's got a very slow reload rate, and the fire rate is really slow also without mods. And the actual bullet trajectory or arrow trajectory, it feels like you're firing a rifle, but you are still firing a crossbow. So the bullets will fall, and it's hard for me to judge where exactly to shoot sometimes, because I just kind of expect it to go exactly where I'm pointing, but I have to, where I, don't judge for the arrow fall, it can screw me up sometimes. So I'm not a big fan of the Attica. It's too slow to fire, it's too slow to reload, the damage is unimpressive. If you want a bow, just stick with the Paris Prime for right now. That's probably your best bet. But next is the Nami Skyla assault rifle. The Nami Skyla cutlass and dagger. Oh, see, I did use the puddle ones. These are dual swords that are a lot of fun. I really like them. They're a little bit on the weak side, but they're just the specific combos feel really good. Like they're real fun to use. They're a little bit slow on the attack rate. I think they're 1.9 as opposed to most melee weapons that are anywhere between 1.0 and 1.3. But there's just still fun weapons to use, and I highly recommend them. But that'll wrap up part 3, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more Warframe videos in the future. I probably will be doing an Easter special, so stay tuned for that. But please like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.